The podcast is about to start. The podcast about to start. Greg is a cunt, and the podcast's about to start. It may have Kim, it may have Pete, it may have Robin too. You never know. Phil might come on and thrill a lot of you. The podcast is about to start. The podcast's about to start. Greg is a cunt, and the podcast's about to start. I have to tell a sorry tale of hosts that have gone by. Nicole and Mark, they had far too much pie. The podcast is about to start. The podcast is about to start. Greg is a cunt, and the podcast's about to start. Enjoy! Potato!
Lord. Child.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic!
I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 745 of the Overseas Connection podcast. Today is August 6th, 2023. And I'm just one of your hosts today, Greg DeLacy, Gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. And joining the show today, Mr. Nose Picker himself, Pete Chin. Pete, how's the nose?
It's fine. Just a little bit itchy. I'm thirsty. I'm hot. But I'm here.
You are hot indeed. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Good to have you here, Pete.
Thanks.
How hot is it out your way that you are hot?
Not at all, really. Probably just because I'm in this little box room and I've got everything on at the moment. So I thought I'd bring in some fresh supplies. I've got a few drinks, ice cold. They've been in the fridge for about a week. And I'm well equipped, even though I'll probably need one more. I'm ready for tonight's show. And yeah, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Get
Excellent.
your heads down, folks.
All right. Pete dealing with menopause. Well done. On the show also
Ginger
today.
pause. It's ginger pause.
Ginger pause. Ginger pause. We have Kim Woods. Kim.
Oh,
Howdy.
Yeah, that's me at GamerWorld27, just about everywhere. It's not really hot here. It's kind of humid and rainy at the moment. So, and there's thunder that randomly goes off every once in a while. So if you see me like staring at the ceiling or something, I haven't lost my mind. It's just thunder's going off. So anyway.
Okay. Fair enough.
Rainy pause with a bit of Thor.
There you go.
Kim, am I seeing correctly? The calendar is not there anymore?
Well, no, it's the first of the month, so.
Okay.
And we didn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we didn't look to it last week, so.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
Yep.
We will definitely tackle the most important thing we could possibly get to.
Obviously.
And last but not least, our child, Robin Tate.
Hiya. Hello, Greg. I didn't do anything wrong. See, there's a story. There's a story behind that, and I'll let you know in a wee while what that story is. But there you go.
Fair enough. All right. Well, hey, if you are tuned in now, you are listening to us because we are a video game podcast. Although we're not just a video game podcast, we talk about life, we talk about entertainment, we talk about stuff. So strap in. Usually about an hour and a half ish long. We are going to cover lots of bits. We're going to have fun. We do this every weekend, 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 4 p.m. in the East Coast, 3 p.m. out in the Central Time Zone on Sundays. So catch us live. You can be part of the chat, hang out, have some fun, or you can listen to us on audio. We will publish an audio version free. That will happen usually the next day. But yeah, you can come hang out on Twitch or YouTube. Either way, we'll see you. We'll hang out. We'll have some fun. In the meantime, other things that are fun, birthdays. Birthdays are always fun. And Jason Gallagher is having another birthday. So we want to celebrate him turning 110 years old. Jason, fantastic. You're defying the human race. August 10th is his birthday. So, Robin, do we have a birthday song for Jason?
Happy birthday to you.
in here. Happy birthday to you!
Gentleman was not recognized.
I believe that man has been censured. We should not have him on the program any longer.
Old time's sake, right? Old time's sake. Maybe. We
Yeah.
could have Oprah. We won't go there.
Yeah.
All right.
Would
Hey, let's talk some story time.
Hooray, it's story time. Hooray, it's story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
All right, Robin, tell us a story. See what happened was what?
Can't tell you yet.
No?
I want to play it. So talk to someone else.
Well, all right. Fuck off. All right, Kim, let's talk to you since Robin doesn't want to talk to me. Kim, what's been going on with you?
Oh Lord, what? I don't know. Last week sucked. I don't know what it was. Everybody's telling me it's weather, but I kid you not. By like 7 o'clock, I was out or trying to fall asleep. So that was awful.
Kim, that's called old age.
I know, right? But I only just turned 45. I didn't think I jumped all the way to like 70, but here we are. Actually, that's not even what to say. You know, because Dad's like 72 and he was awake and I was the one trying to fall asleep. So whatever. Aside from that, we we didn't have any nasty weather. All we got was rain, but about 30 minutes south of me, they were hit by the tornado that just about decimated the town. So that wasn't real good. I thought it was weird because Friday night, Saturday morning, somewhere in there it hit. And I got up Saturday morning and everybody's like, have you heard what happened to Bering, which is the name of the town? And I'm like, no, why? And they're like, they got hit by a tornado. And I'm like, oh, because all we got was rain. So yeah, so bad for them.
Ironically, I was watching massive or major weather disasters last night on the Weather Channel. So this ties in nicely.
Right. So that was bad news. The boys are coming back at the end of the week. So
boys
Friday
are back in town.
The boys
Right?
are back in
So
town.
they'll be back Friday. So there's that. And of course, first of the month. So you know what that means. It's what my calendar is this month.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. Sure. All right. Anyway, this month we have. Let me see if I can get my camera up here. All right, we have Mitch and Macy. So I don't know, which is which. I guess you.
Nice tats.
I don't know what they say, but you can guarantee.
I'm concerned about the boobs that he has underneath his left arm. Like, if you hold that up again.
Yeah.
So he looks to have a bit higher because the light's shining. Yeah, he seems to have boobs or something sticking out from his back. That seems
Those
unnatural.
are called lat muscles, Robin.
That seems
Those are
unnatural.
It's back muscles, Robin.
No, it's unnatural.
It's called the latissimus dorsi.
I think there's been a bit of Photoshop there somehow or another.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know. Holy moly!
Probably, yeah.
So so that's this month's Pussy Impacts Mitch and Macy. So yay! Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for me this week. Like I said, I haven't really done. I have to look at my list to actually see if I have anything else. But nope, that's pretty much it for me. So there you go.
I'm gonna invest in a small person calendar. Okay. Thank you for that, Kim. Robin, do you want to talk now, or do you still not want to talk?
Yeah. Let's get some music on, will we?
No, really.
So we're going to bring the volume down on this. So, we've got some new titles, and I'm going away for a couple of weeks. So, Greg wanted all the new overlays and titles, and one of the files I didn't send was the intro music file. And he has superseded it, unfortunately, but I thought, well, there's a great opportunity.
Intelligent.
So what I did is I got this sound file that's playing right now, and I threw it into my audio file and let it run for a minute, and then added on the new intro song for the podcast. And I'm going to let you hear it in all its glory in just a second or two here, because it's coming now after a minute. And I'd hoped that he hadn't done that, because the file name was exactly the same file name, and
You didn't count on me actually figuring some things out. That's what it boils down to. You figured I would just wait for you to send me something.
Is about to start. The podcast about to start. Greg is a cunt, and the podcast's about to start. It may have Kim, it may have Pete, it may have Robin too. You never know. Phil might come on and thrill a lot of you. The podcast is about to start. The podcast's about to start. Greg is a cunt, and the podcast's about to start. I have to tell a sorry tale of hosts that have gone by. Nicole and Mark, they had far too much pie. The podcast is about to start. The podcast's about to start. Greg is a cunt, and the podcast's about to start. Enjoy! Potato! Now,
I love that at the end.
can someone
well done.
then take that and add a backing track to it for me, please? Some music, because I'm not clever enough for that. Or not yet, anyway. So, yes. So, that was a rush job this afternoon. But I did record it on my phone in the car yesterday. And there's several cuts and edits of it while I was driving along, singing to myself. Yes. Sorry, Greg. I was hoping that could have went on for months. That you would never have realized.
I almost feel bad that almost feel bad.
Dear.
Robin,
Yes.
creativity points to you. Creativity points to you.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So I am heading away off. You can tell I didn't book the flights. Our flights are at 6 a.m. On Tuesday morning from Dublin Airport, 140 miles away.
Now wait 1 minute.
Yes.
If by means of you could tell I didn't book the flights, does that mean they would have been going off earlier or later?
No, they would have been at a comfortable time, like midday
I'm not sure.
or, at best,
You're kind of a
midday.
go-getter. You're kind of a go-getter, so I could see you being like, no, we're getting the first
I'm on
flight out
holidays.
4 a.m.
I'm on holidays. Also, there's 3 families going, and the girls all did it. The only thing that I've booked is the car parking. So the other 2 families are parking at a hotel near the airport, and they get a coach transfer from the hotel. Ooh. This will be at 4 a.m, remember? And they have lots of under 6-year-old kids.
Oh no.
And they saved £10.
Woo.
I'm parking in the short stay car park straight across from the airport. Thank you very much. I'll drive straight in. Yay. Worth every penny. Yeah. So that's how I book stuff. Thank you. A few bob more for convenience. So we're off to Italy on Tuesday. So this time next week we'll be, what day? Sunday? Yeah, we'll be there. Lake Garda, a place called Bordellino. And I started actually getting around my head today about what are we going to do. And not a lot, actually. As little as possible in this one. So,
well, because you were not in charge of booking anything.
No. I did have a look today about how far Monza race circuit is away. It's about 140 miles. I was thinking I could do it on a scooter. Now, we did go all the way around the lake a few years ago on a scooter, and it's 99 miles, and that took most of the day. And no, so if I'm going to do that, I'll hire a car for the day and go up.
I was going to say 140 miles. That's a bit much on a scooter.
Yeah.
It took it 2 days.
Yeah. What an adventure, but what an adventure. So that's that. I have to tell you, I'm 54 years old. Okay? 54, let me tell you. Some people say I'm old, and I say it too. In fact, I'm building a whole flipping community around being old. And unlike this guy here who spits and eats a fucking sandwiches and has fucking gone through the roof. Anyway, I should have bought a boat. Anyway, I'm 54 years old and I have never worn or owned a pair of Crocs.
Huh.
There's a reason for that.
I know. My wife bought Crocs for everybody and thought, yeah, you like those, Robin. And I went, what are these plastic monstrosities? What is this all about? And I put them on this morning to try them out, and I had them on for most of the day today. They're okay. But they're Crocs.
Yeah, yes. They're the ugliest shoes in the world.
Really? I do not understand why people, my Crocs. My Crocs. I went to the shop in them and I realized I had Crocs on.
No. Here's the reality. People are lazy motherfuckers, and Crocs are about the laziest shoe you can possibly have. So
Next to slippers before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
After
they're
slippers.
basically plastic slippers. That's really what
Yeah,
Crocs
there's
are.
slippers and then there's Crocs. So
Yeah.
either one of them. Yeah, if you got own, wear, even look at them, you're just
Right.
boring.
Now, ironically, I had a discussion about Crocs last night with my wife because we saw this family leaving and they all had Crocs on. And of course, I started making comments about Crocs. And I said, Crocs are right there with me with the Ugg boots. I never really got the Ugg boots.
Oh.
And then
No.
my wife said, oh, come on. You see a hot girl, in a little crop top and a short skirt, and she's wearing Uggs, you're going to think she's ugly. And I'm like, no, of course not. And I wouldn't care if she's wearing Uggs or Crocs at that point. But
Just
that's
Uggs.
not
Just
the point.
Uggs.
Yeah, that's not the point. The Crocs are just
I don't understand. I mean, where we're going to, it's there are pools and there's tennis courts and football pitches, and it's a big enough place. I haven't actually looked at the photographs of it in any detail. I usually do, but
Right.
I'm just arriving. And there's a kids pool, adults pool, stuff like that there. So I take the idea behind Judith's head is the Crocs are to go to the pool, and that's okay.
right.
Now-
It's a replacement flip flop.
Now, Lake Garda is just down the hill where we are. And the Lake Garda, you have lake shoes or river shoes, which are the stuff I race in, actually, because it's very stony bottom. And there's nothing worse than a stony bottom on your poor feet. So, but we don't have lake shoes this year unless I bring my racing shoes. So that means they're not thinking about going to the lake, which is fine because I have things to do. I have a Kindle with me, which seems like a good idea to buy, and I read it and fall asleep. I'm going to bring a Switch because my Steam Duck has been stolen by my eldest son. So I'm bringing a Steam Deck. No, a Nintendo device. What's it called?
Switch.
Switch. And I loaded it with stuff today. We'll talk about that in a little while because one of them is far better than anything you guys are playing. And yeah, so we're looking forward to that. So yeah, so Jasmine is very excited. She can't work out the whole sleeps thing. So she's away to bed tonight, excited, and is it tomorrow we're going? But yeah, we're leaving the house probably about 1:30 or 2 in the morning. Unfortunately, my wife, well, the last time we had to run at the airport to go and see the Queen, and we were the last people on the plane, and people were screaming at us. But I don't like being at the airport for 4 hours ahead of where I need to be. But no doubt we have
Right.
our flights are at 6, so no doubt they'll want to arrive there by 3 in the morning, probably 3 hours ahead,
As
just
long as
in
the
case.
bars are open, Robin.
Kids. Anyway, so yeah, we're looking forward to that. So, yeehaw, I finished work on Friday. There is a bank holiday in the Republic of Ireland or Mexico, whatever one you want, tomorrow, so they are off anyway. I do have to chase down a German in the morning, and get
Literally.
literally, I'm looking for a delivery date on thing for a client, and I need that date so I can pass it off to the client and go away. But I am done. Done.
How are you? When do you leave? What day?
Tuesday morning.
Okay.
We'll be leaving the house here at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Monday night, Tuesday early hours of Tuesday morning.
Oh.
Excellent. Well, I am going to be very curious to see what you've loaded up on your Switch because maybe it's Mario Kart. I don't know.
I do
'Cause
have
you're
that.
gonna
Yes,
be
all
bored-
those things are there. Yeah. But we'll
without
get there
your
to what
racing,
I'm
you're
going to
gonna
be playing.
bored stiff.
That's a challenge. Yeah, I actually. Well, we'll talk about that as well. So the stuff that I did.
All right. Okay. Pete, what about you? What's been going on in your neck of the river?
Well, we had a theft at work a couple of days ago. This guy, right? I watched him on CCTV. Come on to the property. Went through an open door in the back garden. Spent 20 minutes where I work in the centre, and ended up pinching £60, £60, a mobile phone, and some credit cards out of somebody's bag, and just left bold as brass. Just unbelievable.
Okay.
So we've so I've had that to deal with this week. That was interesting. I I've been selling stuff on eBay. And what else? Marketplace. I've sold quite a lot of stuff, to be honest, which leads me into being almost Microsoft free. So I've no longer got an Xbox.
Right.
So the only Microsoft thing that I've got is the PC. Mark's had my Xbox Series S, and my Xbox One X has gone. So I've not got an Xbox anymore. So I've got to cancel my Xbox Live or whatever it was, Game Pass subscription. So I'm just a PlayStation boy now.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that, because I've had an Xbox for years. But there we go. I wasn't here last week. So last Sunday I went to Mike's baby shower. So this is or should I say Tara's. This is the first baby shower I've ever been to in my entire life. And usually...
You shouldn't have been there.
It's a female
It's
thing.
a woman's thing. Woman's work.
Usually it's a female thing. But everybody was there. Everyone. So my dad, Mike, Nathaniel, Simeon. Who else was there? Marsh. Trying to think of other guys that turned up. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Simeon?
Yeah, I think it is. But now I mentioned Simeon. So there was a group of us that all turned up at this cafe in Wolverhampton and surprised Mike and Tara for their baby shower, and it was really nice. We had afternoon tea. It was a real cool afternoon that we all spent together, all the family. I just got back really late, so I couldn't be on last week. I got back late. I had to get a load of stuff done or wrapped up for eBay, and I just didn't have time to be on the show. I just couldn't do it, and so there we go. And I've been working on my boat again all week. I'm in a position now where I'm going to be laying down the 18mm hardboard flooring. So I'm hopefully going to get started on that this week. The floor's just been, I don't know, just one of these mind-numbing tasks. And I don't know whether did I mention it before when I was talking about all these engineering bricks that they've had to clean and get on the boat and blah blah blah. I think I did.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there. Yeah. So yeah, there's engineering bricks that I've had to get on. There's 920 bricks altogether that I've had to fetch off the boat, clean, and then put back onto the boat. And I put most of them all back onto the base plate, and then I looked at a few channels and I've looked on some advice on some canal boat building websites, and the most recent thing that they do now is they install or they put down tile spacers, but they have to be 5 or 10 mil in height, but they put tile spacers down underneath all of the bricks, and then the brick goes on top of the tile spacers, and it allows air to pass underneath the bricks, and it allows circulation, so it stops the metal from touching the brick, rubbing when the boat's going, and scratching the base plate and causing rust if there's any condensation. So I had to fetch up, or we're in the process of fetching all of the bricks back up and painting little dots in to put tile spacers down, to put all the bricks back, and then wedge them all in. So that's what I'm doing this week. But that's about it, I think.
Okay. All right. Kim.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, it's funny because Pete mentioned Marketplace. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. We listed some things on Marketplace. So of course, while Pete was going through, I'm double checking on Marketplace, and of course, somebody responded. I don't know why my Marketplace isn't giving me notifications. That's something that's
mine does that as well. It's awful.
Yeah. It's
I've got
rather
onto it
annoying.
sometimes, and I've had about like 8 or 9 messages.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
like, what the hell?
without even yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so I also am
doesn't
listing
capture.
things. We're trying to clean out the garage a little bit, so we're getting things listed off. Had a nice date night last night. Went to another culinary class. This time it was about pizza making, but it wasn't just pizzas. We did stromboli. We also did not cannolis. Oh God, I'm gonna totally space that. I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, pizza. Just a pizza, straightforward. That's my thing. I don't need to fold the dough over. Although the stromboli does look pretty darn good. My wife made a stromboli. Looks quite tasty. We ended up eating
way better.
Huh?
Calzone is way better than
calzone. Thank you. That was what I was actually thinking. Calzone is good, depending upon how you make it.
Yeah, the filling.
It has to have a lot of filling. If it's just a lot of dough, then I'm not going to be too fussed. But it was a fun time. And I will just say this again. Anybody looking for a fun date night type thing, and this, whether you're married or single, and maybe you're just dating somebody, go to a culinary class.
Go by yourself.
Or you could go by yourself. Sure. Absolutely. It is a fun time, and you get to meet other people. You hang out for about 2.5 hours ish. You can drink alcohol while you're doing it. Well, at least the ones we were doing, they serve up alcohol. And you end up getting kind of a full meal out of it. Plus you end up taking home a big chunk of what you made, because you sample all of the things that they actually cook up and put on display for you. And then you actually make it yourself. And then if you're like us, you're already kind of full, so you just take it home. Fantasy football has started up. Had our big auction bid draft yesterday. Well, actually, this whole past week in the Dynasty League that I'm in. This is the one that also Gary DeFelice is in. I'm happy to say that I pissed off Gary. He was getting ready to pick up a player. He had literally about 30 minutes left. And just so you know how this thing works is you bid on players, and every time you place a bid on a player, it resets the clock for them for 14 hours. So anybody else can come in and see that, say $5 was put on them. And Gary was about 30 minutes away from making his pick, and I went in and just outbid him by 50 cents. He was not happy with me. Anyway, so yeah, I'm happy though. Fantasy football's back. It is such a fun, and fantasy sports in general, I love it. It just gets you to another layer of being a sports fan. For some people, it's too much. I get it. But for me, it makes me care about all the games I don't usually care about. Like if I'm watching the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, I don't care about any of those teams. I would pay attention to that.
Oh.
If I had a player on the Arizona Cardinals, heaven forbid, but if I did,
they're the man.
I would pay attention to that game. Otherwise, normally, I'm not going to pay attention to that game.
Don't pay attention.
So it just makes watching sports just that much. It's just another layer. Although I will say this, if you are a super fan of a team, it does make it a little bit challenging, because you get players on all different kinds of rosters. So I may have players on the Kansas City Chiefs. I am a Chargers fan. I want my Chargers to beat the Chiefs, but I'm also quietly rooting for my players on the Chiefs to do well. And so it does create some conflict of interest at times within your own head. But yeah. It's fun.
I'm getting away from the rain. It's done nothing but rain all week again.
Robin?
Yep.
You live in northern Mexico, Ireland.
It don't work.
What happens?
It don't work.
You should do there's your new catchphrase. It don't work.
It don't work.
Yeah. All right. That's it for story time. Let's talk about some games.
Okay. Those games.
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser. All right, Kim, I don't know if we covered this last week or not. I don't think we did. So let's talk about it. All the games we get for free that we paid for, and some that we were getting for free that we were paying for that are no longer going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is your monthly games. Well, after next
Sound
month.
Sound the death toll for Games with Gold.
Ding, ding.
They won't be here next month. So, your Games with Gold for this last month ever, probably, We have Blue Fire, which is available now through the end of the month, and Inertial, right?
Nothing to do with me.
Inertial, yeah.
Yeah, Inertial Drift, also available now to the end of the month. And that's it. That's your last Games with the Gold because, well, it just is. And I don't know what either of those are. So, there you have it.
It's kind of going out with the whimper, which I guess that's exactly what Microsoft wanted.
Right.
They wanted people to just not care anything about Games with Gold so they could
Yes.
switch it all over to core
Come
and
in.
console. And anyway, so yeah, this was
Rest in
their
peace.
goal.
Game is gold.
Oh, what did Dad bring you, Kim?
Ice cream.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, boy.
Did you walk out the door earlier and yell at your dad, say, "Give me some ice cream, Dad"?
No, I was shutting the windows because it was raining. And I didn't remember if I shut the pantry window or not. And I didn't want it to rain all over the floor. So, apparently it's reading in my mind.
I miss ice cream. I really miss ice cream.
Did I tell you I used to think that was Robin's actual job? Was he was just an ice cream man? I
Yes.
really
Yeah.
thought that.
Well,
There
I did
was
too for
that.
the longest time. So, you know.
There was that spout of him just trying ice cream after ice cream.
I'll be doing my research over the next 10 days, let me tell you.
A little bit. Anyway,
Oh,
on
yeah,
to more
cool.
games. We have PlayStation Plus for August. We have Dreams, PGA Tour 2K23, and Death's Door. Death's Door, I hardly recommend. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but I have played it and I do enjoy it. So,
Real fast, Dreams, did they not just announce they're dropping support for that game?
yes.
By all means, give it away for free.
Right.
I bet it's still not as janky as fucking Cyberpunk.
Hard to say.
What was
Well,
the
no,
game
yeah,
making
it-
thing that went on Xbox for several years that they tried to keep alive? What was it
Oh,
called?
God.
It
I know what you're talking
It was a bit
about.
like Dreams, maybe not as advanced as Dreams, but like Dreams. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I do remember the game, and I just
Oh,
everybody
what was that?
thinks they want to make games.
But the
And there's a
reality
few
is
people that
it's
will
hard
make
work.
games. Yeah, the reality is 99% of us have no desire to make a game once we realize how much work it is.
Right.
You awesome?
All right, carrying on for your Amazon Prime games for August, we have Payday 2, the Gauge Mod Courier DLC. It's kind of weird, it's a DLC, but all right, whatever. Farming Simulator 19, which would make Anthony extremely happy. He loves those things. Blade Assault, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, Four Tales, Driftland, the Magic Revival, In Sound Mind, which I am not, and Summertime Madness. So, I don't know. There's not really anything there that jumps out at me. So,
Hey,
yeah,
just a second. Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Just a second.
okay.
We need to go back a bit here.
Uh-oh.
Pete.
Okay.
I knew you
To Pete?
could've stopped.
Pete,
Oh, no.
Pete, why are we going back to Pete?
why are you not
Okay.
talking about your YouTube channel? And what has
What's it-
happened with
what's
your
now?
YouTube channel over the last 10 days?
I don't want to.
Pete, okay, so what is the name of the YouTube channel and I'll talk it up now.
It's called Tiller and Rudder Narrowboat.
Okay, so this is Shell and Pete and the history and story of their longboat, riverboat, canal boat, the big tall thing.
Narrowboat.
Okay, and the first 2 episodes have went up, and I was one of the first subscribers to this channel.
You was. I was
Uh,
going to share you it. I was
and
gonna-
yeah, fuck off. And
You-
so
Speaking of which, like, subscribe, share.
please.
Right.
No, at least I didn't want to get
Guess
down.
I'll eat
that
my
way.
ice
So
cream now.
So
Yes.
Judith and I were sitting last night after the kids went to bed, and up on YouTube popped up the latest episode of Pete's new video. It came up, and we went, and me being Mr. YouTube right now, went, fuck. Pete's first video has had almost, probably now, has had 8,000 views in the first week. He has went from
Nice.
0 to subscribers. When I looked last night, it was about 470 or 480. So he's at the first tier of monetization. And the video that just went up a couple of hours had already had the guts of 1,000 views on it. Congratulations, Pete. I told you this was going to be fantastic. It's such a niche and you come over on the camera so genuinely well. Judith and I were discussing your sandwich last night that you're eating in episode 2 for at least 5 minutes. It's
Really?
yeah. What the sandwich is dry? It was £5. Where did he buy a sandwich in a triangle piece of paper for £5? Did he drop a bit in the car? Is he going to tidy that up? My goodness, he looks cold. Why does he have gloves on with only no fingers on the ends of them when it's snowing? Well, why does he not have full mitts on? Why does that guy not want to lie down in the puddle? He's a nice man. All of this stuff it's so gentle and lovely. It's fantastic, and it's about them going through. This episode is about getting the survey, and it's going through testing the depth, the width of the metal, and looking at his oversized rudder and his undersized propeller. I know it all. It's fantastic. So it's great watching. So well done. It's gonna it will pay for itself. It's going to be fantastic. Keep it up and keep it real. It's brilliant. I wish I had bought a fucking boat instead of a racing car.
Well, for the record, you did not buy a racing car.
you know what I mean.
Although you spent about as much money on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. No, I didn't want to sit there and gloat about the
I'm
channel.
not gloating. It's brilliant.
Oh,
It's
you
really good.
absolutely should.
It's a fantastic
No, I
success.
didn't.
See, now, Pete, we need you to cross promote. This is the cross promote. You should say, I also appear on the Overseas Connection podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they'll go to this channel and they'll be like,
Do you have a logo for the Overseas Connection on your YouTube channel like I do on mine?
Pete?
Oh no, I could do that as well, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I've not only made 2 videos. Not how many videos have you made?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Racing, what he was 170, and I don't even,
there
and
you
I have
go.
about the same amount of, don't even have the same as some subscribers as you have, and you've been going for a week. I'm at 417. You can change that 17 round to 71, and that was last night. It's probably even higher than that now.
This is internally making Robin
Brilliant.
insanely
Super.
mad
It is super.
because
I'm so happy.
he's realizing his videos about going super fast are being basically outdone by a video of a boat that goes
2 miles
an
per hour. Yeah. It's brilliant, Pete. Congratulations.
Now we're on the subject.
It is
Now
brilliant.
we're on the subject. I mean, the thing was when I first released that video, I didn't expect to see more than 20 subscribers right at the end of the weekend. And we put the video out on the Friday, and I think we got about 100 and some odd views over the weekend. And my dad kept on texting me every time I got 20 more. He was like, "Oh, Pete, you got 20 more views. You got 20 more views." And then on the Tuesday, he texted me and he says, "Oh, Pete, you've got 300 likes," and I was like, "Oh, he must be talking about the views." And when I looked, I think it was Tuesday or the Wednesday, and when I looked, it got like 5,800 views, and yeah, it was near enough 300 likes. I think it was about 270 likes. And I was like, "Oh my god, what has happened to this?" And it kind of just blew up.
Well, your first video was really well done. I have to also say that it was a well done, just very like inviting, friendly, like Robin was saying, and I think that was kind of, again, there's also this, there's probably this community of people that are into narrowboats.
Yep.
And this is striking a chord.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you can just hang on after the podcast, there was a couple of questions that you had about stuff, and we'll have a quick chat afterwards. Okay. But I just wanted to say, well done. It is fantastic.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah. By the way, we are going to rename this podcast to Kim Eats an Ice Cream Cone.
Don't do that.
And we'll just promote it that way.
Yeah.
That will be the subtitle for this show. We'll see how many views we
Anyway.
get. Kim goes down on an ice cream cone.
So there we go. I just wanted to say that. So that's that. So time for gameplay.
Well, no,
actually,
I have
no,
more games.
not yet.
Oh,
We
more.
still have more games.
There's
to
more.
talk about.
Wow.
Your Epic Store games for August are Loop Hero and Balloons TD6. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's got something to do with balloons. I don't know. Anyway, on August 10th, your new games for Epic will be Europa Universalis.
Universalis? I don't know.
Something like that. 4 and Orville. Keeping an eye on you. Well, it's keeping an eye on you, but some added motherfucker onto that. So there you go.
That sounded like
I
a
wonder
good name.
who.
I didn't.
So
Not me.
anyway, now
Was
we're
that
done
Robin?
with them.
Okay.
Oh, did Greg slip one in there? Did he?
I've been known to slip one in once in a while.
Y'all bet.
So,
Yeah.
Greg,
Anyway, that's your games for this month.
tell us all about the wonderful, wonderful Baldur's Gate 3. Because I would love to hear about that now.
So I can't really tell you about Baldur's Gate 3, Robin.
Why?
So the temptation. See how I'm talking about the Baldur's Gate
The
temptation.
singers?
I'm going to buy
Oh.
this game and put it on my Steam Deck because apparently it runs very well on the Steam Deck.
Okay.
It is blown up, and we'll talk about it later in the news. Getting great scores. It's reviewing really well. It is very based on D&D. And so, we have our
It's not
little
biased
D&D
for
offshoot
D&D.
that Phil Rones.
Based.
So yeah, there's a lot of me that is like I'm excited to get this game, also afraid of it because it is a big game. It's
Okay.
not short. And I know Starfield's just around the corner, but I think if I get this for my Steam Deck, it's going to be a perfect game to put on there. So this way, it's just going to be a long play.
Okay.
So Baldur's Gate 3, if you're not familiar with it, it's the third in the Baldur's Gate series. A lot of people don't know or remember Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 because they were way back when. They are getting released in Game Pass. That I just heard that news not too long ago. So
Looks gorgeous on the screen.
yeah, people will get a chance to. And by the way, full nudity in this game. I'm just saying that's another.
Course.
dear.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Although you don't have the sliders, apparently.
Damn it.
All right.
Oh well.
Diablo 4. I have been slogging away 5.
Oh.
So I really like Diablo.
Right.
I will say though, sometimes some of the story-based missions, just they amount to just going from one place to another.
Basically,
and,
yes.
and you're getting to another spot and there's not really fighting involved. It's just you're kind of activating another story component. And so like last night, I'm in this one act within Act 5 and I'm tired as all hell, but I'm in a spot where I know I can't save.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, just get me to when I know it'll save and I won't have to repeat everything.
Yep.
So I desperately want this game to finish now. I'm at that point where I'm kind of getting a little tired.
Are you in the
of
swamp yet?
Yes,
Yeah, that's why.
So it's just a lot of back and forth,
Yep.
and it's needless back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have handled this all in one giant cutscene, and I would have been much happier for that. But no, I have to travel from different location to different location just to activate another little mini cutscene.
Yep.
And that's frustrating.
So, out of the group of yous, who has finished the game and who has not?
I finished it.
Kim has finished. I have not finished it yet.
Believe it or not.
I think. Well, is it 6 acts or 5 acts?
6.
Oh, fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But the 6th one is actually better than the 5th one. So.
Well, there's that. Okay.
In my
At least
opinion,
it
anyway.
But yeah, and the other problem is every time I have started this game up, I kid you not, something happens in the family, whatever, and it's like, nope, gotta shut it all down. And so I literally get 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and it's made the slogging back and forth between these little areas that much worse.
Right.
So it's not something that you could just play for a few minutes or, well, I'll say a few minutes, like half an hour, and it makes a
You
difference
can.
to your completion.
You can in one sense, Pete. So like, you if you go in and you start up a dungeon, say, and you're going through and you're killing stuff and you're getting loot, all that loot will stay with you.
Okay.
But if you leave the game mid-dungeon, it's going to make you start the dungeon all over again, basically.
Yeah.
Some of it will kind of be a little easier because some of the enemies won't respawn, so you'll be able to kind of get to where you left off. But it isn't, you can't just save at any point you want, and they are save checkpoints. So I don't know if that helps or not, but I mean, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but there are some little design quirks that, again, when you're in these specialized situations of you only have a few minutes to play, it can be a little bit annoying, especially if you get yourself into that spot of, you're not at a save point, and so whatever you do, it's going to cost you to kind of restart a dungeon. One really good thing they did, which actually I like, because you can't pause this game, you can't stop and pause it, is you can at any point in time fast travel back to a town. And fast traveling back to a town, in essence, becomes a way to pause the game. So you are going through a dungeon, and let's say you get a phone call, just fast travel back to a town. You won't get attacked in the town, so your character can't die, and you could just leave him idle sitting there while you're on the phone talking to whomever.
But can you save there, or save point?
It'll save, as in it'll save all the loot that you've gathered. But if you suddenly just stopped the game, the fast travel portal back to where you came from is going to go away.
Yes.
So then you have to travel all the way back to wherever you were at.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Which, if it's not close to another portal or something, which is a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, 100%. So you start having these little trade-off, thoughts in your head as you're contemplating, stopping. It's, where am I at? Can I easily get back to where I'm at?
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of the challenges of Diablo 4, but overall, again, it's a lot of fun. I really, really like the Druid character. It still feels fairly overpowered. Like, I have yet to get into a battle of late, and I've now prestige, so I'm past level 50.
Nice.
So I'm overpowered, I think, for a lot of the enemies I'm facing, and it's more a grind of killing them to get past that boss battle. I have yet to really ever feel like I'm in danger of dying. So
I can
is kind of
see
a nice
why
feeling.
you probably. Sorry, I can see why you probably feel like you've had enough. Then, I think when I get to that stage in the game, like I did with Assassin's Creed, like you feel like you're overpowering everything that you fight. It doesn't become exciting anymore, does it? It doesn't become a challenge. It's just something that you just troll.
At this point, I just want to complete the story. The challenge of the game has kind of waned. Now I'm really just all about, I want to get through the story. The story is actually really good, and I'm very interested in it. So,
but the battle element of it is going to bore you, isn't it? Because, well, you know that you're just going to get through it without any challenge. So that would do.
Well, it's still kind of difficult, even if you are, over the limit or whatever. There are still, because I'm with Greg. I'm like a level 53 now. And there are still some things that I have to watch that, if I'm not careful, it will kick my ass. So
yeah, I did make the mistake of, I thought, okay, I had finished off. There are these random encounters that you'll come across that they're kind of high intensity, and there's a big loot treasure at the end of it. And I had come across one of those, and I, for the most part, killed everything off. But there was a random enemy that came onto the screen that wasn't part of it. So I got the treasure box, but then this enemy came at me. My son was getting dropped off, so the doorbell's ringing. So I'm like, well, I'll just leave myself here with my companions, and they'll probably kill off this. No, I came back. I was dead.
Yep.
So, you just, again, you have to pay a little attention about kind of where you start and stop. But it really is still on my list of probably top 5 games this year. For sure, it will be in my Game of Year discussion. I've
thanks
very
for being
much
so
enjoyed
definitive
that
there.
game,
It's
yeah.
probably in my maybe top 5 games this year. That's good.
What was this?
Probably maybe in my top 5. Definitely going to be one of those games that are
maybe possibly. I don't know.
Very good.
There's more to come. Very good. All
Okay.
right. Halo multiplayer, fun as always, but I have to talk real fast about PUBG. So we had another session of PUBG on Friday night. And I was playing with Snoogans, Mark, and his son, Jay. And one thing that's been happening with my Xbox, and I think I just need to do kind of a deep clean on it. Every once in a while, I've had my internet cutting out on me. It'll just suddenly, like, internet connection lost. So we were swimming towards where the heck were we swimming towards? Garoppolo, I think, or something like that. The little town area. And my connection loses, and I'm booted from the game, and I'm like, the guys are like, what the hell? And I'm like, I just lost connection, and they're like, well, your character's still swimming.
Swimming.
And-
I was going to say, you're just going to keep going, aren't you?
And the blue wall is right behind us, right? We were swimming for our lives, and the blue wall is behind us. I'm like reconnecting, and it's saying I'm connecting back up to the game, and Mark and now Snoogans are like, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. And they're like, yeah, but your character is gonna make it, Greg. You're running up against a fence, but you're outside of the zone, or you're in the zone. I reconnect. They're both dying in the water. I reconnect. I turn around. I get both of them up out of the water. We then run into the zone. And then I actually got the final kill to give us chicken dinner.
Nice.
It was
That's
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it was truly one of the few times I have actually come to the rescue of my team. It is still talked about, to my dismay, about me driving the entire team into a bus stop and killing everybody except for myself.
I really miss this game. Do you know what? When I finish work, possibly, which could be either at the end of October or the end of December, I'm going to have a couple of months off, and I am going to absolutely clatter PUBG. I think I'm going to have
it's
to. give it a
crossplay.
preview.
So we can play.
Yeah. I need to play. But
there just are so many fun times, and so we have definitely enjoyed the re-bringing it back. Mark has been 2 Fridays in a row. Amazing.
Nice.
So enjoying our time with PUBG.
Very good.
All right, Rob,
Yes.
you patiently put up with my PUBG talk. I will now patiently put up with your Brotato talk.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Brotato. Brotato is a new game, and I have loaded Brotato onto my Switch. And I am going to take Brotato on my holidays. And Brotato is, when you see it on screen, you'll recognize the gameplay somehow or another. And
it's not really a game.
Yeah. Brotato. So when Brotato comes up there, you'll see that it's
Vampire Survivors.
It's Vampire Survivors. So they're both top-down shooters. They're both roguelikes, but Brotato has more decision-making, more roguelike elements, such as, you choose your weapons, your gear, you create your different build types. Vampire Survivors more like mindless killing, where you just shoot swarms of enemies with little strategy. But Brotato has some more
addictive.
Yeah, so it has bullet hell moments, but you can't dodge all the attacks. But it's Brotato.
What's this available on? Everything.
Everything, PC, you name it. Brotato.
No. Is
So
it really?
Yeah, so Vampire. I was looking for Vampire. I have it on my Steam Deck, but my son stole it. So I thought, well, I'll look for Vampire Survivors on the Switch, and it didn't come up. And this came up, so I just did a little research, played it for 10 minutes, and went, that feels very similar. So so I'm going to play some Brotato when I'm away. I also loaded up. Quite a lot of not a lot. Well, I do have all, of course, the Mario Karts and Mario, all those sorts of things with me. But I downloaded today just nostalgia, so I can jump in and out of it. Portal 1 and 2. And that seems like the perfect game for a plane or the airport for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Portal 1 and 2. I really liked Portal 1 and just adored Portal 2. And I've played it a couple of times, and it might be time just to revisit that again. So I am looking forward to that very, very much indeed.
All right. Question on the Switch.
Yes.
Because it's been a long time since we talked about the hardware. How big is the hard drive on that?
I don't know. You stick in a memory card.
Not very.
Not very?
You stick
Not very.
You
No.
stick in the memory card.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Rotato's not on PlayStation.
Oh.
Oh.
Ouch.
Sorry about that.
Oh. Mark,
PC.
PC.
Yep.
So, I am heading away, and I'm leaving my poor community all alone for 10 days. But it's been left in very, very good hands. And I've been doing some prep work before going away, but this week we had the largest amount of drivers that we've had, and we introduced a thing called rain. And if you when you see the on the screen right now, you can see it's difficult.
A lot of rain.
So so nearly all of the LFM stuff, nearly all of the multiplayer stuff, is in the dry. There's no wet whatsoever. And the whole idea behind Bongo Racing is to bring old people along and train them to go faster in all conditions. And there's no sense sending that in the world that if they get a wet race that they don't know how to handle it. And everybody was frightened of it. But it turned out we had a dry race first to get them into a sense of security, and then we went full wet, big style. The spray is unbelievable, and it was fabulous, and they were brilliant. It was the biggest turnout we've had. It was a fantastic night's racing. Everybody enjoyed it, and it was really, really good. So we called it the Great Duck Off, and it was very, very interesting, very, very different. The car slides. There's not the same grip. There's not the same visibility. So just
now,
great.
May I ask?
Yes.
Who took number 1 on the Great Duck Off?
Oh, who won? Oh, just give me a second. I'll tell you now. I will tell you right now. And it was Mark, or was it the Great Duck Off? It was Laurent.
Laurent.
Yeah, Laurent Lossel.
Okay. Excellent.
No, Laurent.
Oh.
Laurent, say another Frenchman. Yes, and Rick Hofbar was second, and Mark Healy, our resident 61-year-old, he was third place. But it wasn't about that. It was about the experience of the wet. It was friggin' awesome.
I just wanted to give them their props.
No, it was really, really good. It's funny, in qualifying, I put up a little short. If you go onto my channel, Bongo's Bits, it's a little short. It's only 10 seconds long, and it's went thousands of views at the moment, and it's literally coming to start a qualifying lap, and this car appears from nowhere. I was like, fuck. It's like heart attack stuff. It really was, because you just didn't see. So that's been really, really good. So I've been doing the prep. I've done they're racing at Barcelona next week. So you won't know it, but the posters have been done for Barcelona. I will bring them up on my channel right now, and you'll see them on the feed. And for UK people, you will absolutely understand what I mean. So Barcelona, what does Barcelona? I am from Barcelona. I know nothing. So if I bring up the community channel here, where it is. So this race is called the I Know Nothing 45, and I have taken a snapshot from Faulty Towers and put my head on Basil Faulty's head, and we have Manuel, of course, is from Barcelona, and he's made a mess of my car. So it's Barcelona. So the guys, that's already up, and then next week we're off to America, to Indianapolis, and I've already done the little poster for it. So my team of fantastic guys are going to be doing that. I had a meeting with them over the weekend about a roadmap for the future, about the things that are going to start happening very, very soon, and there's some really exciting stuff is going to happen in the autumn, and I'm really, really excited about how that all comes together. And I've got a team of fantastic guys. Roger Leopoldi, who is at the top of the tree as far as voice acting is concerned. He's up there. He is a superstar of voice acting. He's just cool, dude. Right. We've got Laurent, who owns a company called Wheelnap Designs, and he designs the beautiful liveries that we have, but he also designs them for real cars and is world famous for this. Wow. And we have Aid and his brother Mark. Aid is fabulous. He is a lawyer, solicitor from the UK, about my age, and he is the administrator, and when he puts out the details for the servers and the details for the races, it's like legal documents. We had a meeting over the weekend after one of the races with the main admin guys, and that was on Saturday. It must have been one night this week, whatever, maybe Thursday evening after one of the races. I said, guys, I want to go through this. Here's my roadmap document. Have a look through it. And we chatted all this. and about me going away and what was going to happen while I was away. And the next morning, I had minutes sent through to me. It's awesome. It's a fabulous community. So we're getting people from, I'm sure you're the same, Pete. I'm getting people from all over the world, generally old people, but it's class. I just love it.
Yeah.
It has been really, really good. So,
Robin, you did forget one person to mention. You do have Gary.
Oh,
and
yes.
His job is useless.
So for the first time ever, last night, it was 12:30 at night here, and we were just having a bit of a knockabout on Barcelona because the race is coming, and there was about 10 of us in there, and a little knock at the door of the server. Hey, how do I get into the server? Give me a New York accent, please. It's not New Jersey. He's not from New Jersey. He's from somewhere.
He doesn't even have a New York accent. He's got a weird accent.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, how do I get into this server again? And he joined. He now has reached the safety rating enough to be able to join the practice servers, and he joined in at I was going to, Gary, I gotta go. It's 12:30, 1:15 in the morning. I gotta go. And then the guys were going. Roger Leopoldi was going, Robin, you're not going on your friend. You gotta have her go. So I said, look, I'm staying for 10 minutes. 1:20 in the morning. Full race done. But Gary went out on track with us and done a race with us last night. So well done, Gary. Well done, you. Thank you very much.
I'll give him his props.
So
Well
he's
done,
chasing, yeah. He's chasing.
So he's got there and he's in the rabbit hole now. So and I think he really enjoyed that. So yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Good fun is being had. So I suppose that's the main thing.
That is indeed the main thing. Pete, what have you been gaming, if anything? I know you've been playing boat.
My son last week played almost, I think it was about 5 hours of Hogwarts Legacy. So I was helping him along with certain things on Hogwarts Legacy, but for me, honestly, if I could describe it, it's almost, it is a real big open world, like your Assassin's Creed and GTA, but in the Harry Potter Hogwarts environment. It's just, it's very magical, theatrical. It is perfect. It's a great game. It looks absolutely enormous. My son's like, because he's new to these games now. He's not really played open world games like these. So every single person that stops him or asks him to start a quest, he accepts it. And
quest list getting massive. Yeah.
Yeah. His list now, his quest list is as long as my legs, and he's doing all of these things. But honestly, I really do take my hat off to this game. It's
So question, and you may have talked about this before, so excuse, but how would you compare Hogwarts Legacy in terms of size and scope to Valhalla? Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I think that would be hard to. I think that would be hard to comment on because I've played so much of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think that the
size of the world, the scope of the world, are they comparable, or is it not necessarily?
From what I've played of Assassin's Creed, I wouldn't say that they're you couldn't compare them at the moment, but I don't know how much it expands because it looks like it could expand, but I don't know how much yet because I've not seen that much of the gameplay, and because my son's not as advanced as I would be playing a computer game, it's difficult to find out how much this expands to as far as how big the world is. But as far as the quests and the quest list that my son's got at the moment, it feels like he's got an absolute massive stuff to do. And some of it is like there's a GTA mission, right? GTA 4, I think it was, and it was to kill 50 pigeons across NYC. And even though that doesn't sound like a lot, I think it was 50, or was it 250?
I think it might have been 50, but either way, I remember the mission you're talking about.
Yeah, and I remember doing that, and it took me like a month, to try and find these pigeons. And I think I had to Google the last. I think I had to Google the last 8 or 9 pigeons. I tried my hardest, and it was just like you had to explore as much as you can. And as even if you was in your car, you'd hear the pigeon, like, whatever it was, the little thing.
That was good.
And
good.
It would. Yeah, even if you was in the car, you'd hear it. So you'd get out, you'd look around, and you'd try and kill these pigeons. And I think there's 50 or 250. I'm sure it was 50. And there's a thing in the Harry Potter game where I say Harry Potter all the time. It's Hogwarts Legacy. The Hogwarts Legacy game all the time. There's these little. They're like fireflies, and you're running through the map, and all of a sudden this firefly just runs past you, and you're like, oh my god, it's one of those coins. So you have to follow this firefly, and it follows you to a location, and then it disappears. And somewhere around that area, then you have to find this coin, and then you take that back then to this chest where you insert all of these coins that you collect from those locations. And there's about 50 of them, I think. I can't remember exactly. So it just kind of reminds me of those type of games in a way where you've just got these vast amounts of quests that you have to also complete as well as the story, or you feel compelled to complete. And it's, I don't know, mate. It's graphically, like I say, the whole story and how it delivers is just perfect.
I think it's kind of sick that you're sitting in a burnt out ruin of the dining hall of Harry Potter movies right now. But anyway, moving on.
Yes, moving on. Anything else, Pete, before we move over to Kim?
No, I've not done anything else. That's it.
All right. And Kim, I know we did talk a little bit about Diablo 4, but you finished the campaign finally.
Yes, I did. And it was really good. Like I said, I had the same feeling on the swamp as you did, because you start out, well, they give you 2 like big quests. You pick who you want to go with to start off. And then, then you've got to go and follow the other people after you do the one with the one guy. And it's just like, oh, man. And I got so tired of running through the swamp. It was just ridiculous. So I totally agree there. And another thing, the horse. Is it just me, or does it seem like the horse isn't really as fast to get through those things as they kind of made it out to be? Because I can almost get there just about as quick running as I can riding the horse.
Well, the thing about the horse that I've come to realize, the horse, for the most part, enemies will ignore you.
Right.
Whereas if you are running through just on foot, you instantly are pulling enemies from all different directions. And so if you stop at all, you'll get into a fight. Whereas the horse, you could pretty much avoid the fights. That's about the only advantage the horse brings to the table.
Right.
It doesn't. I will also say this: the horse does not control terribly great.
No, it doesn't.
It's very basic. I mean, I think about like Red Dead Redemption 2. What a fantastic horse and how it moves. It just feels real.
Right.
This feels like we made efforts to make it, but we didn't really spend a lot of time making our horse.
Right. So here's your horse. We didn't do much with it, so carry on. So,
but we'll sell you some armor for it.
Right.
Totally
and that's
useless.
Something else in the store. If you're a rogue, it's real slim pickings. They've got like 4 things for a rogue, and that's it. So
all the armor, it's really the warrior classes, like the barbarian, warrior, and then the necromancer and sorcerers. Those, they have all of the cool kit.
Right.
And then the druids and the rogues are kind of left to here's
like,
a couple.
You know what? Fuck off. You get the scraps, that's it,
Yeah, I will say, if we're going to talk about armor sets, the druid armored sets, I, for the most part, have hated all of them, with the exception of the one I found that I like, which is I'm wearing a wolf's head on my head, and I've got on my shoulders wolf pelts, and it works. And so I just carry that forward for everything.
Right? So anyway, that was my little nitpick there. This week, I've just mainly been doing side quests because, you're running through and trying to finish a story. Well, you leave big gaps in the map that aren't uncovered yet. So that is my goal before if I decide to jump into the seasonal thing, which I haven't exactly decided yet, but I know I at least need to get the map opened up so I can see everything, because otherwise, So that's pretty much what I've been doing, is just about the side quest. There is an actual, and I don't think it's a spoiler, but the opening scene with the 3 guys and all
Right.
that. There is a side quest for that.
Oh,
You
okay.
have
Yes.
you have to go find the scholarly guy that was with them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. And then
Where does this side quest appear at the end game, or is it something that you just found along the way?
This is something I just found along the way. So, I mean, it might show up before you finish it. I would assume
Okay.
it probably shows up before you finish the story, but considering I mainlined the story and, avoided side quests as much as possible, I didn't get to it till now. But there is a side quest where you actually go looking for those people. Well, the one person. And of course, if you've already done the story, you know who the one guy is, and you know what happened to them. But this
Right.
kind of ties it all up, so that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, other than that, I've just been doing side quests. Today I stumbled across a cannibal hideout, and it had 3 treasure goblins in it. Of the 3 treasure
nice.
goblins, I got 2 of them. The third one escaped, but I got to them. And I think the loot for those are getting better. And plus, I'm seeing more of them, because I know that was a bitch before that you barely ever saw a treasure goblin.
Well, and you had to just, tracking treasure goblins down. For those that don't know, treasure goblins are kind of like this magical, think about it as a leprechaun.
Yep.
Suddenly appears on the map. And
Right.
the leprechaun is running away from you, and you have to run after this leprechaun and kill it. As like you should. And
Right.
so
And he's
once you
dropping
kill it,
gold
you
as
get
you
its
run
treasure.
along.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
Lucky
they're
Charms.
still a pain in the ass too, but they're still a pain in the ass to track down, because my only good thing with this one was we were in a tiny cave sort of thing, so they couldn't get very far, so that could have helped. But like I said, of the 3, I still only managed to get 2 of them. So But
Okay.
anyway, it's fun. I'm enjoying it, cleaning up side quests, opening up the map, yada yada yada. I've been hearing a lot of not so great things about this season, so I think that's kind of why I'm staying away from it for now.
I don't know. I'm constantly reminded that I've bought this every time I fire up the game. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, season
Right.
started whenever you
Right.
want. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and for those with Prime Gaming, there are some tier skips you can get for free
Okay.
for this. So if you're doing the season and you want some tier skips for the
I don't
pass
even know what that
thing.
means at this point.
Yeah, right. It's for the battle. I guess they call it a battle pass, whatever the
Right.
hell the thing is. So anyway, there's that. But other than that, I've been playing a little Call of Duty multiplayer like normal. We were on, and I'm just gonna put this out here. If we're on like a Saturday night or Friday night, if we're on playing Call of Duty, and y'all want to jump in and play with us, just shoot me a message and let me know. Because I know I tried to set a thing up for last night, but the way my week has been, I wasn't even sure I was gonna be awake, so it kind of fell flat. But I'm just
And I
excited.
think it's bold of you to get the Nicki Minaj skin. I think it was a bold choice.
You mean the
So
Minge? Yeah, the Minge,
Yeah.
Robin. Thanks.
How do you feel like you get on, Kim, now playing Call of Duty with how fast that game is and we're getting?
Right. I don't know. I think I'm doing all right. Of course, like I said, I'm becoming the asshole that I used to bitch about, which is the person that runs around on small maps with a shotgun, but I don't really care. But, it's for me, it's fun because, on one side I can run around and I'm a bunny, and on the other side I can run around and I'm a cat, and I'm sure that just makes people want to shoot me all that much more, on top of the fact that I am a girl playing Call of Duty. But, I don't know. Like me and Boomer always say, it's die, die, repeat. And, I don't know. There are nights it does get frustrating and you want to quit, and sometimes we do. But for the most part, you just go to a different map or you jump out and join a different, lobby or whatever and keep at it. So.
But you still feel like you're holding up your own on the tables, and it's.
Oh yeah, well
it's-
last night I did pretty bad, but I mean I got a few in there, like the grenade kill that was just a blind fucking grenade, just threw it honestly. And then it blew up and it killed the guy, and I was the final kill. So I'm like, hey, look at that. So, but for the most part, it's all right. I mean, there's some griefers because you get those assholes that want to run around with the knife, and that's all they want to do is stab you. Or,
yeah,
beat
just like
you
those
with a
assholes with
phone.
the shotgun.
I know. Right?
Yeah,
So,
but you get medals for those, I don't know. You get so many medals for so many kills.
Oh yeah, you get the rank up deal for that. But I mean, if there's a bunch of us that want to play, I'm all for it. I don't know, maybe it's old age mellowing me out, but I don't get as aggravated as I used to get. So
No.
Yeah, there's not a lot of games that have ever made me want to throw my controller. I will say, Hi-Fi Rush. There was a moment.
Yes. Yes.
A couple of those boss battles that they're
Oh,
like
God.
timed. Yeah,
Mhm.
it can drive you a little bit bonkers. But beyond that, I don't think have you, Pete? Have you ever like wanted to throw your controller at the screen?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, my kids do that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Surely not.
Yeah, we're talking about that, Robin.
No,
I know
I
Robin
don't
actually
think it's
has
ever a moment. No.
Yeah, Robin got a Skype call. Pete, you don't know about this. Robin was in a race, and he told me he was in this race, and he was going to be finishing up, and you know that he would join the podcast probably for like 5-10 minutes late. And me and my infinite wisdom was thinking, well, I could probably just add Robin to the Skype call, and this way, when he's done, he can just jump into the call easy, right, and
Okay.
join the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, the Skype call shows up right in the middle of the screen as he's driving.
Shit.
It was honestly
hilarious.
one of the proudest moments of my life.
Yeah, the final race of the final year of the final season, and I needed championship points, and it's on the screen now. Yeah, and
And it's
this
funny
big
'cause I had
bloody
my name
box
on there before Grant.
appeared in the middle of the
Oh,
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Robin, the audio in that, you have to go watch it when you get a chance, but the audio in that is just hilarious.
Right.
Robin's like, oh no, fuck off, OZ Connection.
Fuckity, fuckity, fuck. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh boy.
Bastards. Anyway,
All right.
time for the news.
Yes, time for the
Indeed.
news.
Oh dear. That's the wrong friggin' sound effect. News. There we go.
Here is the fucking news.
There we
Robin,
go.
Tell me some news.
We're in the news. The news is here. And would you believe it? For fight fans, Iron Galaxy is returning to Killer Instinct with a major update for the 10th anniversary.
Christ.
The update, which was
Yay.
announced on stage at this week's EVO event in Las Vegas. Oh, Las Vegas. Will include balance tweaks, improved matchmaking, and 4K support for the Series X and S. The reboot of Rare, fantastic gaming house, classic fighting game franchise, was first released for Xbox One in 2013. Yep, developed by Double Helix Games and was supported with updates and new characters until 2016. We're doing a balance update and a major upgrade to all PlayFab services. James Goddard, director on Killer Instinct's second and third seasons, told the audience at EVO, matchmaking is a lot smoother. Tournaments are easier and more Killer Instinct, or KI for the guys in the know, for the next 10 years. I'm so excited about that.
I fired up Killer Instinct. Oh, God, I don't want to say probably 2 months back, maybe a little bit longer than that. I forgot that game was 720p. It just didn't look great on screen. So I'm actually very curious to see how this update holds. A lot of people have wanted to see an updated version of Killer Instinct or just a new Killer Instinct come out. They're kind of surprised it hasn't. So there you go.
My opinion is Killer Instinct should have just stayed at the Super Nintendo, and that's it. I mean, it was fantastic when it came out on the Super Nintendo, and it shouldn't have gone past that console as far as I'm concerned. It was Street Fighter struggling. I'm a massive, absolute massive Street Fighter fan. I love it to bits, and I've got all the Street Fighters, and I'm tempted to buy Street Fighter 6, but they still don't hold up to the level of Street Fighter Alpha 2 or Street Fighter 2 Championship, or
Well, Pete, just hold it just a second.
All right.
Because there's even more fight news. And before you make that decision, images have appeared from EVO, appear to confirm the Tekken 8 roster leak. The images, which shows the character Steve, as well, not the guy from Minecraft, as well as a look at the roster, were reportedly taken at the Tekken 8 booth at EVO, where players have been given the chance to try out the game. So, Pete, that's maybe the next big thing for you.
No,
Tekken.
Again, this Tekken was like something that tried to compete with Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter back in the 90s, and it really tried to.
Pete, I want to do a little exercise here with you, because you are our gaming fight aficionado. I'm just going to throw that out there. I want you to rank, the IP. So Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Killer Instinct, fuck off, Robin, and what was the other one from Sega?
Streets of Rage. I'm trying.
No,
That'll
not
work.
Streets of Rage.
Okay.
Yeah, just go with those four. Rank those four, top to bottom.
Street Fighter's got to be top.
Okay.
There's no two ways about it.
I was gonna say, I've seen that one already. Yeah.
I'd say Mortal Kombat, and if I didn't have to include Generation, I'd say Killer Instinct and then Tekken.
Okay.
I don't rate.
You don't get on with Tekken?
No, I don't rate it at all.
Wow.
All right.
That's amazing, Pete.
I don't rate it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Hold on. But what makes me really sad, when you said Steve and you thought of Minecraft, I thought of Steve Austin.
Oh. See,
What was
so-
the game through
so
that
old.
Sega made? What was that? What?
I'll have to look it up. There was a fighting game they made. The name's escaping me.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what it might have been. Art of Fighting?
No.
No.
Keep going.
Could it possibly...
Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, Virtual Fighter.
Virtua Fighter.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've played that.
Samurai Showdown. Evander Holyfield's Real Boxing. Dragon Ball Z. Virtual Fighter. King of Monsters. Fatal Fury, King of Fighters. Greatest Heavyweights. Eternal Champions. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Street Fighter 2 Champions Edition. There you go.
Is it that Virtual Fighter? It's got to
Virtual
be,
Fighter.
hasn't it?
Yeah, have to be.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Ready to move on?
All right.
we mentioned it earlier. Baldur's Gate 3 is the 2023's biggest Steam launch so far. Isn't that cool?
Second.
Oh. Second. That changes things a bit. Just don't be a
What's
Debbie
that?
Downer. It's pretty big. Maybe not first, but it's a runner-up. And if you're not first, you're last. No. The game, which has been in early access for years, was officially released on Steam on Thursday, where it saw a peak concurrent player count of 427,001.5 independent players, including Steam Tracker. And yeah, a lot of people. 500,000 people played this game. While impressive, it's impressive, but it's still a long way off 2023's biggest Steam game release to date of Hogwarts Legacy, which saw
See? Look at that.
a
Pull up
peak
the podcast.
concurrent player count of 879,308 plus minus LGBT during its launch period.
Don't recognize that.
So there you go. It's a big launch. Done very, very well. That's fabulous news. And believe it or not, if you have a broken Xbox controller, you may not have to throw it in the bin anymore or take it to the specialist recycling area at the recycling dump. Xbox is now selling replacement controller parts and showing people how to fix them. The new Xbox repair and replacement parts page on the Microsoft Store lets players order parts for the Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 and the Xbox Wireless Controller for Xbox X and S. Parts include replacement PCBAs plus minus whatever, the circuit board which handles the controller input, replacement motor assemblies which include attached rumble motors, buttons and top cases. Isn't that nice?
What?
I
Why haven't they done this years ago?
Why haven't
I
all
mean,
of the
because-
companies done this years ago?
Yeah, here's my thing. I have a feeling this might have been one of those kind of wish list regulators, maybe from the EU or something, where they're like, you need to be consumer friendly about replacing your controllers. Obviously they don't want to do this. They would much rather just sell you a new controller.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
So somebody behind the scenes made a deal, and maybe Microsoft said, hey, we're going to do this also to the EU. I don't know. Trying to grease the wheels a little bit for the ABK deal. Who knows? It's good for consumers.
well, from a sustainability point of view, you're not using as much plastic, are you? If you advise your consumers to fix their controllers so they've not got to buy more plastics or more paper that's going to be fed into the system, and
Save turtles.
your boxes are going to be
Save
thrown
turtles.
away.
Save the turtles.
Yes, save the turtle. What I'm going on and on. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
It is a sustainability.
I have to also bring up the long boat video once again. The canal boat.
Oh, for God's sake.
So at one point you zoomed into a bird. What was the bird called?
A wagtail.
A wagtail. And you were all about the wagtail. But beside the wagtail, floating in and out of the rubbish of the canal, was a bottle of Jack Daniels and a bottle of Coke or some sort of cola in a bottle still sealed and floating. But you focused on the wagtail, not the bottle of Jack Daniels. We commented on that for at least 10 minutes.
I am not responsible for the rubbish and the deposits that are made in something that is not my property.
Can you tell me,
There is,
are
by the
you
way,
going to
irony.
put on a large device on the front of your boat to capture all of the rubbish as you go
Trash
around?
catcher.
Yes.
Do you know what? We are going to. Apparently, they say when you go along the cut, it is worth picking up one thing in a day. We are going to try and collect a bin bag of items in one day and try and dump it. The only one thing that is difficult, believe it or not, when you're cruising along the cut for a day, is to find a public bin. Which is
wow.
crazy. I think that's the thing that make it difficult for people traveling along the cut is to dump rubbish into it. But
Isn't that when you just jump over the side of the boat and hold onto the side of it and just cruise and do your thing and then just no?
What?
You said public pee, right?
Public pee?
That's what I heard.
Oh, no. So
all right, real fast. One, are you not afraid you're going to catch a body at some point?
Oh,
And then-
wow.
I'm not
Well.
squeamish, so it would. I can't put it on the video because I'd probably lose I'd lose all my following, and I wouldn't. I've not got a following as big as what's his name? Not Jake Paul. What's his brother's name?
Not sure.
I
The
don't know.
Paul brothers. Anyway, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that. I think we'll catch something in the cup. We're bound to, aren't we? I've got
Well,
some
you
Mac-
could have caught some
Well,
Jack Daniels and Coke, apparently.
That's what I would have did, but
No.
anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Did you-
There's a nice irony to that, though, that they're side by side, Jack Daniels and Coke. It's like
Yeah,
they're meant
I
to
thought
be.
so. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm. Anyway, there we go. That's the news for this week.
Yahoo! All right. Kim,
Yes.
before we get into the new releases, we probably should do some shout outs. I think it's been largely us making fun of ourselves, but I think we had a couple people in the chat. We should say hi to them.
Yeah, we've had Boomer in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Boomer.
Good old
Boomer!
dependable Boomer. So
We love a bit of Boomer.
The other Gary. It's kind of like the other white meat, but we like this Boomer.
right.
Yeah.
It's the only Boomer I know. But anyway, we'll go from there. Anyway. So thank you, Boomer, for being in the chat. Hopefully we'll get a couple more before the show ends, but maybe not. Who knows? We'll see.
Is Boomer an actual Boomer?
Maybe.
Baby Boomer.
I don't know.
You could be in the 60s now.
I mean, I might have scared them away while I was eating my ice cream cone on the show.
That was
so who knows?
sexy. We'll
Anyway.
be doing cuts
Totally
of that later.
subtitle, Kim.
Yeah.
I
know.
kid you not. It's happening.
I'm going to put
Okay.
80s porn music over that.
Anything for the show, or almost anything.
That's the spirit. Kim, what new releases are coming out this week?
Alrighty. Yeah, your new releases this week. There's a few this week, and there's a couple that I'm kind of looking forward to, or at least one anyway. I bet you can guess which one that is. But anyway, your new releases for August 6th through the 12th are Gord for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, PC August 8th. Yeah, I got it. Tower. Now some of these others I may not. So who the hell knows? Tower of Fantasy for the PS5 August 8th, which totally sounds like some sort of porn, but whatever.
I was just gonna say.
You're right. Wrestle Quest for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on August 8th as well. 30XX or 30XX. I don't know. It's coming out on the Switch and the PC on August 9th.
That fits most people.
There you go. One that I'm kind of interested in, Atlas Fallen for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 10th. Actually, that's coming up a lot sooner than I thought. So hey, definitely when actually I've already pre-ordered this one, pre-downloaded it. Stray,
Meow.
it's coming for the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One on August 10th. Not the same, but sort of the same. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical
Oh,
for
class.
the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch PC on August 10th as well.
Would you like to save? No, I would not like to save. I'll walk over here and to the other part of the stage.
We have had enough of your singing, Robin.
No, you
Robin,
haven't.
everyone. Robin.
No, you haven't. It's going to be remixed. It's going to be number one.
Yeah.
Don't try this in our town. It's going to be right up there.
Yeah, alrighty. Well, it says Fapper, but I'm pretty sure it's House Flipper for the PlayStation VR 2. Although,
It might be House Fapper.
Who knows? There are all kinds out there nowadays. I don't judge. For the PlayStation VR 2 and the PlayStation VR, August 11th, and those are your new releases.
I
So
have
there
to
you are.
say, I think for VR, House Fapper makes far more sense than House Flipper.
No, they're probably
Make sure you lock the door first.
right. I mean, what?
All right. Thank you for that, Kim.
You are
some
welcome.
Interesting games coming up.
Indeed.
Anything on that list, Robin or Pete, that excite you?
I fancy playing with a pussy. That does attract me a bit because it's sort of my sort of game, I suppose.
I have been there and done that with the Stray.
Okay.
So have I, but I'm doing it again. So
Yeah.
It's a great game.
It is.
Brilliant.
Does it make you moist?
Fantastic.
I'm assuming you're talking
Atlas
to Pete.
Fallen, although
Same
let's just be honest. And Gord scored. Yeah.
So on Wednesday
I have
night,
a
you're
semi
going.
purr.
You are doing Halo again, are you, Greg?
Yeah, Robin. This is the
Nice,
best
Pete.
part about this. There's such been a flip. Robin now, because he has his schedule of things to do, now he wants the show to keep a good pace and wrap up. It used to be me pushing the show forward. Now it's Robin. Like, fuck off. Let's go. Come on. Wrap it up.
Finished. Pulling out of here.
Oh dear. Caught. Caught.
I love you, Robin. All right. Halo Wednesday nights, absolutely still happening. We've been having a great time with it. I hear the Gary DiFelice and his, was it Lousy at Gaming or is it?
Yeah, they're back
Lousy.
again.
Yes.
Yep.
Lousy at Gaming.
They're back again. They're maybe trying to strike up a Gears night.
Ooh.
So I was down for that.
I'm
So-
on board for that.
Yeah. So we'll hopefully have some news to follow on that, and maybe we can make that a little cross-promotional thing. Robin, you're not racing.
I'm
this
not
week,
racing, but the guys are there. The racing continues. Thursday evening is our community race night. It's the Barcelona I Know Nothing 45. And if you want to join it, go into the Bongo Bits Discord. You'll see that at the bottom of any of my videos. Join the Discord with other old people, and they will treat you really, really nicely and give you yogurt without bits in it and soft slippers. So that's 10 o'clock at UK time, and come and join it.
All right.
What if I
Friday
want
nights you
yogurt
will
with
not
bits in
get
it?
yogurt and soft slippers, but you will get some PUBG happening if you would like. Mark is the steward of this. If Mark shows up, we show up. That's the whole thing of it. The pressure's on Mark.
Pressure on
All
Mark,
Mark's
huh?
fault. Absolutely.
Nice.
Kim,
Yes.
is Saturday night going to be your thing now? Your Call of
I
Duty?
mean, like I said, I don't know if I want to
Your
plan anything
regular
concrete because I know
Saturday
I
night
am.
thing.
But if we're, like I said, if you're on and you want to play some Call of Duty, and give me a shout. We'll get you in there. Even if we get
Absolutely.
if we get a server full, which who knows, then we'll do our own thing or something. I don't know, but yeah.
And Kim
Hell,
promises she'll eat an ice cream cone in camera.
Sure, why not?
What kind
That's
of
why
ice cream
Boomer's
cone
being
was
so
that, bud?
quiet.
It is a drumstick.
Drumstick.
Vanilla.
Kim goes down on a drumstick. There you go. That is
A court case is waiting to happen.
the show. All right. Shout outs. Let's do it. Pete, start us off, please. Shout out all your followers.
I'm gonna shout out the narrowboat electrician. There's a guy called Martin who's based out in Gloucester, who I reached out to help me with my boat, and he's offered a consultancy fee, which is going to help me out massively. To be fair, to rewind my boat, it's for a fee that I think is reasonable to complete it. So a shout out to him, and I'm going to feature him on my channel as it comes down the line, and also John, who's a carpenter close to where I'm moored up.
Is he like Jesus?
He's like Jesus. He's building the narrowboat. It's yeah. I've just
the
Ark. It's
the Ark of the Incompetent.
It's the 21st century version. It's a narrowboat. It's not an ark now. So yeah, I am your new Jesus, and he's a carpenter who's he's almost retired, and he's helping me along the way, and he's just fantastic. He just wants to help. He's not bothered about
brilliant
like money or whatever. He's just
looking for a threesome.
He just wants to help, just to enjoy it. But anyway, shout out to him. My first comment was Robin. My first like and viewer was my dad. My 450th subscriber was my director from work. It's still growing.
481.
It's bigger.
481.
It's getting there. Yeah. So, yeah. Shout out to everyone who's following me and doing whatever as far as the channel's going. And that's me for now. I'll pass you on to Robin.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to give a big shout out to Pete's big rudder and his tiny little propeller. It's like misshapen. It's like his underside, one bit's bigger than the other, and as he gets older, things get bigger and drop. And he, it's very, very inadequate, not as much power, and he needs to replace that propeller. Anyway, a shout out to my son, who probably won't listen to this, Charlie. He's 17. He's an apprentice electrician now, and he done his his first proper homer yesterday. And he got up early and away he went, and he fitted plugs and lights and wired stuff, and he came home with a few £100 in his pocket, and fair play to him. He's been now that's just over a year now he's been doing his apprenticeship, and fair play to Charlie. Very
You should do a YouTube channel on that, because there's two YouTubers I follow, electricians, and they've got massive followings. And if he did it from an apprenticeship point of view, he would, he'd definitely.
I'll bring that up to him. I hadn't even thought of that. Good idea.
Yeah, well,
good idea.
It's a great idea.
Well done, you guys. Fantastic. And I am away. I'm not actually sure if I'm home. I'm only away for 1 week or two. I know I go away on Tuesday. I think I'm home on the Saturday, so I might be available week after next. Not sure, but everything will be fine and hunky dory. And Greg will do it all next week, and he'll curse me up and down. So have a great time next week. I'll probably listen. Maybe not. I may be one Aperol spritz too far gone at that stage. So
you shouldn't really. You should have a break.
I'm going to have a break. Yeah, my phone is already on auto direct. I am already finished. I have a tiny bit of email to do in the morning, but I am done. So I will see yous. Arrivederci. I will see yous soon. Kim.
Alrighty. Let's see. Shout out to Boomer for sticking with me on Call of Duty, because last night was terrible. I mean, it was just, we got slaughtered. It was bad.
Slaughtered.
And like I said, you guys want to play COD sometime, and we're on there. Just shoot me a message. We'll get you in there. No biggie. Other than that, shout out to my dad for bringing me an ice cream cone, even though I know Tank Top hates people eating on the podcast. Yeah, what are you gonna
quiet
do
about it, and it'll bring us
I
viewers.
tried. Yeah, probably. Shout out to you guys. It's always fun, like it is every week. So yeah, hopefully everybody has some better weather this week. Hopefully we don't have any more tornadoes for a while. And over to Greg.
All right. Shout out to YouTube. Apparently there is some kind of gimmick that allows people to magically get you subscribed to their channel. I'm just noticing that now.
No.
That's fun. Yeah, like random, like just all these random channels that it says I'm subscribed to. I'm like, okay, that's new. So yeah, not liking that, but okay. Shout out to the three of you. Thank you for making me laugh today. It's always fun podcasting with you guys. It's our therapy, so I appreciate it. Shout out to the community. Keep coming back. We'll be back next week. It'll be either smooth as butter because Robin helped me set everything up perfectly, or it will be a disaster. Come see. Who knows? And shout out to Pete. The YouTube channel is awesome. Robin, also shout out to the Old People YouTube channel. It is awesome. No, I honestly, I love that both you guys are doing so well with it. It is great to see. So, I got nothing else to say. Let's get out of here.
Bye, everybody.
Really
See us. Arrivederci. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.